Okay guys, so I initially wasn't going to make a video on this, but seeing that it is kind of a pain, I'll go ahead and give y'all a view on how to do this. So we're placing the shifter here. I've already removed the bezel. It pretty much just open the center console. With my little pry tool, just pry it on this 2 points here. It'll lift right up, and then unplug 3 connectors here, as well as one on the ashtray when you kind of get it outward. It does help to keep it all the way down in low gear, so you can manipulate it around. Just pops right out. So to get to this, there are like 2 bolts under this air vent here. So I tried to see if I can get it out this way. Looks like I can't. So we're gonna remove this center console here. There are 2 number 10s that I already took out. They're located right there. Once you do that, just lift up, and then we're gonna try to work this out. But first you're gonna have to unplug the cigarette lighter over here and everything and try to get it out the way so you can manipulate it. So I'm gonna work on that, get this out, and hopefully that's all I need to remove to get this out in order to get the 2 bolts to get this out. All right, so I was hoping that, you know, this would be like 2 separate pieces under here, but apparently not. So to go a step further, oh well, let me first explain moving the bucket there. So you're gonna just pull off the connector for the cigarette lighter and then just push it through. It really only holds like here and around there, so pretty much if you just kind of let me see if I can put it back in to give y'all a view. So you'll see that it pretty much is just latched in there. Just go on the other side and squeeze that tab, push out. So now with this a little bit more exposed, see what I can do here. We're gonna remove 4 10s, 1 2 3 4, 2 Phillip heads up there, and then hopefully with that I can at least lift up this center console just enough to where I can lift this up. As you can see, it's almost free, just not enough clearance for me to move. And then once I lift that up, hopefully I'll have enough clearance to get the 2 10mm bolts that are literally right under this. So let's get those up and see if I can pop this upwards, expose those out. So I've removed those 4 10mm, took out the whole glove box, center console piece, 2 Phillip heads. So now you can see I can now manipulate it, and this can even go further up. However, it gets jammed on this bracket here, so 2 more Phillip heads, and then I'm just gonna kind of inch it a little back and lift this up just enough to where I can see the bolts under here. Okay, so I've lifted this up gently though, you know, be pretty careful. This is a 20-year-old car, 23-year-old car, and I lifted that up, slid the air vent back so you can see right there. But up here you get a little jammed. I could probably bend it up a little bit, get it out, but what I've noticed is you can actually remove this top cover here. As you can see, the sides right there, just get a little pick, pry these little tabs off and get it out, and that should give me enough room to just get this through, and it'll show me literally just 2 bolts right here. So let's get this cover off, pop this off, just I guess twist it to the side, or you could take this the knob off since I'm going to transfer it anyways. But let's go ahead and do that, slide this all the way out, and just expose this whole area. All right guys, so there we go, boom, we finally are able to expose the 1 10mm there and the one right there, all the way in the back there, finally. So I could just pull this out completely, but I'm just gonna leave it alone just like that. I don't want to have issues going back in. I did have to manipulate this part, just kind of squeezed it just to get it through. You will get caught on the other end of this bracket over there a little bit. Just kind of twist it to the side or take off the bracket. 2 more 10s. I just twisted it to the side. So now I'm going to take 2 10mm there, 1 directly below right there, and then 1 in the front, unplug it, and pretty much just swing it outward and get it out. Here's that cover I took off, you know, tabs on the side. The knob, just twist it right off, lefty-loosey. So let's get this off and get a new one, or another one. Okay guys, now bear with me. So I've gotten it unplugged, removed the bolts. So I removed the bolts in order for me to manipulate this around so that I can put, you know, basically get this air vent further to the side. So you can see it stops against the seat there. So I mean, there's only a certain amount I can go, but it does expose everything there. So I threw it back in park, so I can set it right on top right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put, or just kind of set two of the bolts I took out back in place, so I can remove the shift linkage right there, number 12, just so I get a little extra leverage, you know, to get that nut off right there. Sorry, right there. So I'm put the 2 bolts back in just to set them in, break that nut, and then take it completely off, swing this to the side, and it will literally free it up, and I can just slide it right out. Okay, now let me go ahead and show this, because I know a lot of people are gonna wonder, how does that come off? Since, you know, basically there's no room to like slide it out. So on the other end, you get a flathead, and you can see where that little rust spot is and where my flathead is. So there we go. So I'm just gonna put my flathead in there, twist it just a hair. Well, actually, it doesn't matter since this one's broken anyway, so I can just pull it all the way out if I want. But pretty much I'm moving that around, and it's gonna allow the shaft here to go back. So I might need both my hands to do this, or probably mount it back in, you know, to get a little more leverage on it. But pretty much that's how the way to do it. Just push back on it, and you should get enough room to slide it off. So that's how we're gonna do it. And oh, it's almost out actually. So yeah, see, focus is off. But if you can see, it's actually going further back than what it actually was when I started off. So I'm just gonna work on that shaft going back a little bit. And once you do that, this will literally just slide right out. Now let me go ahead and mention this, because my last step might have been very misleading. That shaft does not go all the way through, by the way, just letting y'all know that. It just gives me enough clearance so that when I angle this upward like so like, you know, it's skewed, the right side of the shifter is upward, the left side is downward. It just gives me enough of a clearance just to slide that off, just to give y'all a view of that. It doesn't come all the way off, you know, this slides out. It's just enough of an angle for me just to slide it off. You know, you really could go under the car, just separate it down there to get it off, but for those of y'all who just want to work above, this is pretty much the only way you can do it. You can also cut a slit right there if you'd like, and make your life easier, but I'm doing it like this, just angling up, and then just a little pride and slides out. So that's pretty much how I'm doing it. Alright guys, just a quick view now that I'm about to remove it. I did find it easier to put it all the way back into low gear, because the shifter moves all the way to the right, which moves the shaft all the way to the left. So as you can see now, it's more clearance, so I'm just going to lift it out. And then, as you can see, it's starting to separate. So I'm gonna need both my hands to kind of slide it forward, but now you can see it's coming off. I'm gonna try the same process with the other one, but if not, if it starts to be a nuisance going in, and I waste more time trying to go in than I was taking it out, I'm probably gonna end up cutting a little slit right here just to get it in. But we'll see what goes down. I'm gonna get this out and get the new one to go in. So I have my replacement shifter kind of set in here already. Put it all the way down to low gear again. So I already lined it up. You can actually go under here and pick it up, just so you can angle it in, as you can see. So now all I'm gonna do is just slap it in, bolt it down, make sure to put this back in park, because I did have this in park, and just pretty much bolt it all together. Now before I completely bolt this all together, I wanted to tell y'all about these 3 holes, one there, and one directly behind the connector over here somewhere. Like, can't really get it on camera because under all this, but those are for the rubber grommet that pretty much, you know, seals the cabin from the bottom side of the vehicle, so, you know, no water and debris get in here. So make sure that you find the little rubber pieces on that grommet and put them through the hole and pull it up so that it will seal when we put it all together. So now I'm gonna go ahead and throw my 410s and my little 12mm nut here with the washer on top of this here. So let me go ahead and get all that together, and then we're gonna check to make sure it works, and that's pretty much it. So let's see what goes from here. All right guys, so pretty much have it all plugged up, bolted down, everything's on this is together. I did not mention this earlier, but there is a little clip to a wire harness that clips to the side of this right there. You can see a little tab down there my finger is. Sorry if I didn't mention that. It doesn't really get in the way much, but it is kind of annoying to get out when there's like very minimal room. But I'm not going to show you how to put everything back together because I'm just going to slap it all together, just go on the zone. I mean, if y'all watch, you pretty much know it's like 6, 8 bolts and screws all together, so it's simple. But let's make sure this works. Put the key in just the on position, put my foot on the brake, reverse, neutral, drive all the way down, registers on the cluster, and that's pretty much it. So before, you would have to press the button in order to get it out of park, sorry. Now we can easily use the brake to do all this. So we're done. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, more videos to come.